Hi kids, welcome to Storytime. I know that you live in a house. You go other places, but your house is where you sleep at night. It's probably where you eat most of your meals. It's where you wake up in the morning. Did you ever think about where animals live? What types of homes do animals have? So today we're going to be talking about different animal dwellings, and we're going to get started with this book called Under the Snow by Melissa Stewart. And now for our story, Under the Snow. In the heart of winter, a deep layer of snow blankets fields and forests, ponds and wetlands. You spend your days sledding and skating and having snowball fights. But under the snow lies a hidden world. Under the snow in a field, dozens of ladybugs pack themselves into a gap in an old stone wall. Below them, a snake rests in a hole all its own. Voles spend their days tunneling through the snow. When they find a young tree, they slowly strip off the layers of bark and eat them. Below the ground, a chipmunk snoozes for a few days at a time. Between naps, it snacks on the nuts and seeds stored in its burrow. And this is the chipmunk's burrow. So all of this is actually under the ground. We can't see it, but it's packed with seeds and leaves and a snuggly nest. Under the snow in a forest, a mourning cloak butterfly takes cover in a pile of brush. And brush is like sticks and twigs, like a big hill of sticks and twigs. Inside a rotting log, a centipede and a bumblebee queen remain silent and still until spring. A wood frog nestles in scattered leaves on the forest floor. It can freeze solid and still survive. Not far away, a woolly bear caterpillar spends the winter curled up in a tight ball. Just below the ground, a spotted salamander waits out the coldest months of the year. Deeper down, a woodchuck sleeps soundly all winter long. Its heart rate drops and its breathing slows. The animal gets all the energy it needs from its thick layer of fat. Can you slow your breathing? Try with me. Breathe in, breathe out. Now slower. Breathe in, breathe out. As slowly as you can. Breathe in, breathe out. Under the snow on a pond, bluegills circle slowly through the chilly water. They don't have enough energy to chase the water boatmen swimming nearby. And water boatmen are a type of insect. But the bluegill and a lot of fish don't actually hibernate and go to sleep, but they slow down their bodies. They become very still, and they barely move, and they barely breathe. And that's what those bluegill are doing. And they stay like that all winter. A carp rests quietly on the muddy bottom, and he's in a pond or a river. It isn't even tempted by the water striders lying just a few inches away. And again, a water strider is a type of insect that the carp would normally try to eat. But he's so settled down and so sleepy that he doesn't even use energy to try to catch the water strider. Buried in the mud, a frog and a turtle wait out the winter. They never move and they barely breathe. Under the snow in a wetland, a beaver family huddles together inside a cozy log lodge. When they get hungry, they swim to their food storage pile and munch on some sticks. So this is the beaver's lodge. And what is it made of? Sticks and logs and branches. And the beaver can swim under the water up into his lodge and then swim back out. But even on the coldest winter days, red-spotted newts dodge and dart, whiz and whirl just below the ice. So the red-spotted newts aren't sleeping. No, they're swimming and moving all around just under the ice. As time passes, the sun's rays slowly grow stronger. Each day is a little bit longer. Animals living in fields and forests, ponds and wetlands begin to get ready for spring. And so do you. The end. I had so much fun designing and creating some animal homes, and I'd like to share those with you today. I'm actually really hoping that this will get you inspired to make some animal homes of your own. Think about the animals in the story that we read. There were fish, there was a snake, a toad, beavers, woodchucks, all different kinds of animals, and they all had different homes. So maybe you can think about what type of home you think that they live in and then build that. So I'm going to show you what I created. The first one, and this really wasn't in the story, but I wanted to make a cave for a bear. So on this one, I took just a paper lunch sack and cut off the top of it. I opened it up and then put some snowy cotton on the top, and I made a bear cave. So this is our little bear, and he can kind of go into his cave for the winter and kind of sleep in there, and maybe there's some pine needles inside, or maybe there's some dried leaves inside that he can kind of lay on, and that would be his home for the winter. Bears, you know, actually do hibernate, so they sleep all winter long. As a matter of fact, even right now, bears all over the place are sleeping in caves, just like this one. Another animal home that I made was for a rabbit, and this is the rabbit's warren. So now, rabbits live under the ground, so using a tissue box, you have to kind of imagine that his home is actually under the ground, and this is the snow that is on the ground. And with the hole in the top of the tissue box, the rabbit can go in and out of his warren, and you could even make a whole bunch of little bunnies that would live down there in the warren under the ground. The last one that I made is a beaver's lodge, and boy did I have fun with this one. I just took a paper bowl and cut off the edge, And then I cut a little opening for the beaver, and I covered the whole thing with brown paint and little sticks and glued those on. So if you could picture this lodge being in a river or a stream, it might look something like this, and then the beaver would swim up and into his home for cover and protection. So this is a really fun one to make. But think about the other animals in the story. What kind of home could you design and build using items that you have at home? Give this a try. It was a lot of fun, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.